Oklahoma. Now you have 5 minutes to Mr. Tonko from New York.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Let's just take a minute to review what's going on here. Republicans want to rip Medicaid away from millions of Americans. Republicans want to raise the cost of health care and prescription drugs like insulin. Republicans want to jack up grocery costs for working families. Republicans want to throw away rules that protect clean air and water for the sole benefit of big oil companies. And Republicans, for some mind-boggling reason, want to blow an additional $3 trillion hole in our national debt. I have heard from thousands of constituents who care deeply about the cost of living crisis and are angry and are fearful about these proposals. People wonder whether they will ever be able to afford to own a home or retire with dignity. And for young parents, the cost of childcare might as well be a second mortgage payment. Make no mistake, this bill will do absolutely nothing to alleviate those very real and legitimate concerns. The working families of New York's 20th District were promised by this administration that their lives would be made great again on day one. Instead, we are here to decimate and destroy the programs that millions of Americans rely upon for the basic necessities of life. And for what? To extend tax cuts that will overwhelmingly benefit billionaires and allow corporate polluters to pad their bottom lines at the expense of our health and our environment. This is nothing short of betrayal. Slashing Medicaid funding by hundreds of billions of dollars will do nothing but jeopardize care for millions of children, individuals with disabilities, and the elderly. I, for one, will fight against this with every fiber of my being because I did not get elected to take health care away from the 80 million Americans who rely upon Medicaid. Thanks to programs like Medicaid, we are living better, we're living longer and healthier lives. But if Republicans follow through with plans to cut Medicaid, it will make Americans sicker and create chaos in our health care system. In New York State alone, Medicaid provides coverage to nearly 7 million people, including 44% of all children and 49% of new moms and their newborns. And 64% of people living in nursing homes in the state rely on this program. Medicaid is also the single largest payer for behavioral health services, so that any cuts would mean gutting access to health care for mental health and substance use disorders. Our constituents' lives are on the line, and they deserve better than being used as a pay-for President Trump and his richest supporters. But that's not all. Those tax cuts for billionaires will also be paid for by taking food off the tables of struggling families. In my district, over 35,000 households rely upon SNAP to survive. Close to 40% of these homes include seniors, children, or people with disabilities. These aren't just statistics, these are our friends and our neighbors. And the Republican approach will also harm people struggling to pay their energy bills. Millions of Americans have reported foregoing food and medicine or keeping their home at unsafe temperatures because of energy cost concerns. When Democrats were in charge, we enacted an historic expansion of grants, rebates, and tax credits for clean energy and energy efficiency. And we are just starting to see the effects of those incentives. Since August of 22, there has been more than $420 billion in private sector investments, creating more than 400,000 jobs to support the deployment and manufacture of clean energy technologies. The Department of Energy estimated that this suite of policies is expected to save families up to $38 billion on electricity bills through 2030. And this analysis was reconfirmed last month by an independent research done by Aurora Energy Research, which examined the potential repeal of the technology-neutral energy tax credits. They found that removing these incentives would result in monthly household energy bills increasing by an average of 10%, as much as $468 per year for New Yorkers. By flirting with repeals and other policy changes, Republicans are already causing uncertainty for the entities responsible for investing in and maintaining a reliable, affordable, and increasingly low-pollution energy system. And perhaps worse is the plan that Republicans will attempt to use this reconciliation process to fulfill their long-term policy goals of repealing legally required rules that protect Americans from harmful air pollution. All this points to an agenda that puts the interests of fossil fuel companies over everyday Americans. taking from Americans who are struggling to pay their energy bills, put food on their tables, and see a doctor, all to bankroll tax benefits for the rich, is a heartless betrayal, and we should not accept it. I heard it mentioned this morning that this this budget bill, will rein in reckless spending. I say it will authorize reckless cuts. With that, I look forward to opposing this resolution.